All right, YouTube, Jacob with Good to Go Gear, here to do a video. I'm kind of doing a video about knives. This one's gonna be the best folding knives for you, right? I have a lot of knives. Okay, I have a lot of fixed blade knives. I have a lot of folding knives. I probably have more. I don't know. I was gonna say I probably have more folding knives than fixed blade, but that's a tough bet. And this we're gonna start with manuals, right? This one I got when I worked in the oil field back in 2011 and carried it every day. I bought lots of other knives, but I carried it every day until like 2019. It's the Ontario Rat 1 with AUS 8 steel, and I use it a lot. It's not a recurve, but you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see or not, but you can kind of see the blade kind of dips right here from sharpening. And that was my biggest problem with this, was like, AUS 8 is great. I got rained on. I cut hoses in the oil field doing nasty stuff we did the water stuff, and we had to cut these big, thick rubber hoses, and it cut through it like a champ. But man, when you were done, it was dull. I've cut conveyor belts with it, thick 3/4 inch thick conveyor belts. And by the time you start, you're starting here. By the time you get all the way through a 3-foot piece of conveyor belt, you're down to here trying to saw through it because it's dull. And that was my biggest complaint with the AUS 8, was this was a knife that I paid like $35 for back in like 2011. But I wasn't afraid to use it because it's $35. As long as you're just cutting like tape or, some boxes or shaving your arm hair with it, it stayed sharp. But if you actually put it to work carving a stick, cutting anything, this AUS 8 dulls quick. And I just got tired of sharpening it. So I bought lots of knives while I had this one. One thing I've started doing within the last few years is this is my new Milwaukee Fastback. This thing is great. I love it. It's like a push button. It's a fun fidget toy. I love it. It has a screwdriver with a bit. This is actually a new one to me because I had my old one that I had for 3-4 years. My son is getting into this, and he kept messing with it, so I just gave it to him, and I bought myself a new one. And so if you're getting a folding knife and you're going to use it absolutely for work, you don't have to sharpen it. I started using this with what I do for work and construction, cutting sheetrock, cutting conveyor belt, cutting hoses, cutting whatever. This comes in pretty handy. And you just replace the blade. And what's cool is this one has a spot. Well, damn, I don't have an extra blade in here, but this one can actually carry an extra blade right here in the handle. So if this blade does go dull, you can flip it around, use the other side, or if both sides are dull, just grab the new blade out of the side. So I need to put a new blade in that. Lots of options for folding knives. I like bigger folding knives, right? Blade steels are a big thing to consider, okay? This is a Hinder, I think it's the Hinder XM18. It's an M390, it's very rust resistant. Carried this every day for several years. I think I got it in 2022, carried it till like 2024. And what I like about it is you can't tell. The blade has a little bit of wear on it. The handle, that's, I think, I keep it in a box, like a pistol case that I put it in vertically. I think that's just the foam kind of discolored the handles. I hope that's all it is, I don't know. The pocket clip shows no wear. The titanium has no wear. Something to consider with the liner lock, this is titanium. I don't know that you can see it, but there's a stainless steel insert. I had a Hinder, like the OG Hinder with a titanium, and they tell you when you buy it, don't sit there and just fidget with it. This has the phosphor bronze washers in it, and it closes without, I don't use the ball bearings that get lint and dust in it, but it closes. So for a folding knife, this one's super comfy. You open it up, you have a good finger protection, which if you've seen my fixed blade video, you know I'm big on that. It gives me a full grip. It's big enough to do some things with it. Almost everything I need to do with it. One thing I do hate is my wife and kids will come have lunch with me sometimes at work. We buy Subway, we buy sandwiches or steaks, whatever. We go out to eat. Sometimes they bring it to my office or at the yard, wherever, like the job site. I say the yard is like a job site or something where I'm at. And my kids are little, they need help. They can't eat all their sandwiches, so I cut it in half for them so they can save the rest. And one thing I hate is when you do that with a folding knife, you stick all the food and gunk up in here. Whereas if you have I think there's a 3.5 or 4 inch blade, and you don't have that same issue. I think it's a 4 inch blade. You don't have that same issue. You'll notice most of my knives are bigger. This is a Hinder. You can customize the hell out of them. They have lots of things to do with customizing them. But yeah, so, you know, good steel. This one is the Spyderco Manix 2. It's the Manix 2 XL. This one has been customized. I have custom micarta handle scales on it, a custom titanium lock. I got a little glow fob. I think this one glows green for my son. You know, the locks, I like a good stiff lock. This has no blade play, up or down, side to side. This lock is very strong. It's a ball in there, like a little ball bearing. It has a spring. I don't know if you can see the spring right here that pulls down. It's very similar to Benchmade's Axis lock. They use kind of a flat spring, and this one uses kind of like a spring you find like the pin, like a click pin, like a little click pin. I have two of these. This just show like this one I started carrying the most there for a long time, and then I got this one with the upgraded steel. It's CPM 4V. It's similar to M4. It's very tough. Got it when I was living in Colorado because I didn't have to worry about a lot of rain in western Colorado. You'll see on my knives, I use my wife's clear fingernail polish and paint over any of the etchings that are in the blades. You get into the grain, and actually I'll show you why. On this knife, this is a Benchmade AF02 that I sent to Benchmade, and I had them when I bought it. It had serrations. I sent it to Benchmade and bought new blades. But this butterfly is the reason I started doing that, because this one is, I think it's just 154 cm. Yeah, it's just 154 cm. But I still have, they sent me the old blades back, but I paid a lot of money for the knife, like an extra $100 for the new blade. Well, the butterfly with that steel, just from being in my pocket, and I think I got snowed on out there on the job, I didn't think much of it because this part, you know, is down in my pocket. But I took it out to use it, and the butterfly had rust in it. So I had to, I got like a little Dremel thing, kind of buffing wheel, got it out of there, just the buffing wheel. It's just surface rust. But that's when I started painting over the, I've done it on most of my knives now. I started painting over the butterflies. Started painting over any of the etchings in the blade. But yeah, so for manuals, again, this is a Spyderco Shaman. This is an M4. It has the micarta handle on it. This has a great, what's this called? Like a reverse liner lock. And it's great. These things are tough, man. Like I prefer this because it's kind of the fidget factor. Or I think this has been proven to be stronger. That's when I started carrying the Manix 2s and the Manix 2 XLs. So I have a Manix 2, or excuse me, I have the Manix 2, but it's not the XL, and it's a little small in the grip. You don't get, like, it kind of ends like here. The blade's a little shorter, and I like having that kind of hook there on the end. It just feels good. It kind of forces your hand in a certain spot, and it feels good in the hand. But then when I was living in Colorado, come to find out, I think that 4-inch blade was illegal. Somebody told me. So I bought a Spyderco Paramilitary 3. Oh, well, this one's not coated, because in Colorado I mostly carried these two. We'll get into some of my autos though. But yeah, it has the reverse liner lock, which all it means is it's kind of like the liner lock, but it slips into a little notch in the back of the blade, and it's on the back of the knife, and it just folds down. And this one, man, I carried this one when I went to work and stuff a lot. After that one started rusting, and it's fun to fidget with. I started fidgeting with it so much I'd be out shopping and stuff and be fidgeting with the knife, which wasn't good. But it's a pair of 3. It's got a short little, I don't know, what is that, 3-inch blade. This was in CPM S45 VN. It's a good steel. Carried it, never painted it. Got snowed on, been rained on. Carried it down here a little bit. It's just small. Like, it does give you a full grip, you know, even if you don't choke up on the choil. But it just feels small. I don't like a small knife. If you're gonna carry a knife, like, carry a knife, right? Like, don't play around. Don't be a wuss about it. You know, I don't care how much it weighs. I don't care how big it is. You know, I need it to do what I need it to do. I need it to stay sharp. I don't want it to rust, and I need it to not break. I carry this every day. This is kind of my beater knife. I kind of carry this or this, because this one opens up my boxes and tape. I have cut a sandwich in half with this one. It was the only one I had on me at the time. And it gets gunked up in here. You gotta clean it. This one, I cut up a sandwich for my wife and kids one day at my office. It got stuff all in there. Had to go rinse it out and get it off. Then I had to come home and take it apart. That's where I prefer a little bit bigger of a knife. Carry as big as a knife as you can carry legally. But do what you need to do. So manuals, you know, Benchmades are great. This is my son's. It's the crew wear. We painted the stuff. He loves it. It's his first big knife. He saved up lawnmower money to get it. And then I was proud of him for doing that, so I bought it for him. He saved up enough money to buy this himself. We're only showing the backside because we got it engraved for him because it was his first big purchase. But this is his first year mowing yards, and I was proud of him for that. I mean, that's a great knife. It's very tough. This is one of the toughest Benchmades you can get. You'll see a theme there. Like, I carry stuff. I work construction. I work hard. I don't just always, you know, I've cut conveyor belts. I cut stupid stuff with my knife sometimes that most people wouldn't come into contact with. I need it to work, you know. These are my manuals. If you want some assisted openings to consider, like, I don't have a ton. You know, I've got my Benchmade PSK, also a MagnaCut. This is my current everyday carry and has been for like the last year. I don't rotate knives super often. I will sometimes, just I have a lot and I like to, you know, sometimes I just like the way this one looks and I'll carry it if I know it's not going to be raining down here. But this is my current one. I call it assisted. I think they have it listed as an auto, but you have to push the blade out with your thumb, so I think it's assisted. But it's MagnaCut. I've got stainless steel liners, which is something to consider. I got G10, so I don't get moisture helping the handle to make the liners rust. This one has a lock on the back. I wouldn't say it makes it strong like a fixed blade or any, you know, by any means, but it won't. You can't unlock it. So I mean, it's pretty good. I think PSK stands for Personal Survival Knife. So that's something to consider. I got it because I saw it and I was like, that's a sexy knife. I haven't seen Benchmade make one that's that sexy in a while. I love this. This was a gray, it's kind of faded blue with my blue jeans, but blue bolster, or excuse me, gray bolster with green. And I'm very much into just neutral colors like grays, greens, tans, browns. And this knife just spoke to me when I got it. So another one I've got, this one was kind of small. This is the ZT-0357. It's an M390. It's a good steel. Excuse me, this is a CPM 20CV deep carry pocket clip. I'm not gonna lie to you, this one was kind of hard when you put your, I always carry my back left pocket with my folding knives. It's kind of hard to get out. It's very snappy. But again, if you like assisted, you don't want to go auto, or autos are illegal where you're at, go assisted. You know, assisted knives can be fun. When it has a good steel, zero tolerances are very tough knives. This one has a liner lock. It's kind of fun to just fidget with. But yeah, I haven't painted this one either. I got this one before. Yeah, we were living in Texas before I got that auto one. I don't really carry this one much. It's kind of pointy. I don't know. I worry about the tip. I mean, as you can see, it's got a good strong tip, but it's just kind of pointy. The aesthetic to me is not as doesn't look as work. You know, I got it because I was like, man, that's a cool assisted G10, good CPM 20 CV blade, but it just kind of looks too, I don't know. It's just not my appeal. It didn't appeal to me much after I got it. I'm not, you know, I don't want to sell it, I guess, but it, you know, it's a nice knife. Stainless steel liners. But yeah, think about autos, or excuse me, assisted if you can't do autos. Something else to consider when I put it in my pocket. I carry my back left pocket. I'm teaching my son this. Whatever pocket you put it in, I put the blade towards like so say this is the pocket, it clips in my back left pocket. That way it's against where the seam is, so it can't open, right? He was wanting to carry his new knife. I think the way the pocket clip came on where he was wanting to keep it, it was kind of hooked on his pocket. Like the clip was on this side and the blade would be like this. So if the blade did open in his pocket, if he stuck his hand in it, and that was just mainly because that's where the pocket clip came installed on the knife, right? And I was like, no, let's flip it around if you want to carry your front right pocket. So if you clip it in, the blade opens towards the seam of your pocket instead of where you put your hand in, so you don't cut your hand. So that's something to consider as you're thinking about knives. There's lots of, Kershaw has a lot of assisted opening knives. Benchmade doesn't have as many, but you know, if you don't want to go with a manual, you want something a little more fun to mess with, go with an assisted opening if you can't legally carry, you know, an auto. For autos, I got an auto Benchmade Adamas somewhere. I don't feel like getting it out. No, I don't feel like getting it. My son's trying to go find it. It's in my safe. Well, I have, this is the Benchmade AF02. This is a great knife. Has aluminum handles. The blade is a CPM 154, or excuse me, 154 CM. It's not 150 or CPM 154. This one's not as good in my opinion as CPM 154. It did rust on me a little bit, which is some sweat, I guess, for me, and snow. and just moisture. This one is it can be tip up or tip down carry. I prefer to be tip up. Carried it in my back left pocket. It also has a lock. You're gonna see most of my autos. I think all of them have a lock. Yeah, if you want an auto, you got Benchmades. You got Gerber. I don't remember what this one's called. They don't make it anymore though. But this is S30V, CPM S30V. This is the Benchmade. Oh wow, what the heck just happened there? This is the Benchmade 06 automatic. This is the first automatic knife I ever got. I bought this back in 2008. Not this one actually. This is my second one. My other one is in one of my bags. It was the serrated version. I bought that one in 2008. This one was in that case. It's also got aluminum handles, a lock, so you can't close it. I got this one because my dad was when we got it. He said, "Man, the military guys, the Army guys carry that." And I was like, "That's kind of cool. It's got to be a tough knife." And we bought it at the Cabela's in Boise, Idaho. This one I bought from Gideon's Tactical. Actually, I saw this one. I thought it looked sleek. It's much thinner. The blade lengths are about the same, but it's just much thinner in the pocket. As I get older, I have kids. My everyday carry, I carry, what the heck is that? I carry a lot of stuff, piece of lint, in my pockets. And so I do find, a thinner knife in the back pocket isn't that bad. This one I used to carry in my front right pocket before I started carrying in my back left. This one I got I think I don't had it a week. I had it in my lap while I was driving. I got out of the car and it fell, and I got a couple nicks on it. But it's aluminum, so it still looks pretty good, even though it fell on the concrete. It's got a few little nicks on it, no big deal. So if you're considering a fixed blade or a folding blade knife, you got lots of options. Like, my goodness, options. As you can tell, I'm kind of a Spyderco fanboy. I've got lots of them. These are just two of my Manix 2XLs. I think I have one more. I got 4 Spyderco Shamans. I got a Paramilitary 2. I got a Paramilitary 3. So it depends on what you want to do. Hinder, this knife is big and it's kind of heavy, but man, this knife is just so smooth. And truthfully, I bought it because I wanted it. I finally got in on the bid on one, and I just wanted one. They're like the grail of knives. I'm kind of regretted it because at the end of the day, it's just a knife. But you have very high-end, expensive knives. So this one's like, what did we pay for this? We got it 2-3 months ago, like what? Or maybe 6. You had it, the other one, for a while now. Anyway, this is like $20, and you get a knife. You get a little, this bit has, oh shoot, this bit has a Phillips and a flathead on it. You can carry more. I have tons of bits in my truck. You can get autos. So when it comes to getting knives, pick one that speaks to you, like one that just looks cool. Like this one, looks cool. It's functional. I know that I like a knife that has a good finger guard to keep my hand from slipping up on the blade, right? It works for me. Is it the coolest looking knife to everybody else? No. Some people, this is way too big. Oh, it's too heavy. They care about the weight. And it's with all the crap we carry on us. Like, I got wallets. I got a lighter. I got keys. I got a lighter. I got another fixed blade. I've got a flashlight. And it's like, you're worried about a few ounces of a pocket knife. Like, get over yourself, man. We're not going on ultra hikes or ultra marathons. Most of us never go anywhere besides to work and back. So pick a folding blade that speaks to you where you're like, man, that's aesthetically pleasing. It looks cool. Make sure it has a good steel. Make sure I do a lot of research on them on YouTube. I watch a lot of videos and make sure that I watch somebody else beat the shit out of them. And then it's like, all right, well, that's supposed to be a pretty good knife. Like this one, Gideon's Tactical did a review on. He was pretty rough on it. There's a little bit of side-to-side play, no up and down. Just to be honest, there's a little side-to-side play, but he was rough on it. I bought it from him. He had some kind of garage sale, said he needed some money for something. That was like, 2023? I don't remember why he was selling a bunch of his knives, but I got it from him. I think they used to make it multicam, but I got it from him because they don't make it anymore. I don't think you can get this one unless you're in the military or something. So I was able to buy it from him. I don't know how he got it. I love the Shaman, Spyderco Shamans. These look good. These have a great feel, like the way they fit in the hand, that palm swell. You get a full 4-finger grip without having to choke up. If you choke up, truthfully choking up on this one feels even better, It's a long enough blade that you don't get stuff in here if you, cut a sandwich or cut steak or whatever. This CPM M4 for cutting conveyor belts and stuff, It stays sharp. I cut through a whole conveyor belt in Tennessee, and I didn't even have to sharpen. I was shocked. Of course, I carry one of these when I'm traveling and whatnot to hone it. Let me take it out of the plastic bag. I keep it in there in my backpack because it starts to rain. But I hone it up on one of these. I flip while I'm traveling. I flip the diamonds around. But man, these things are great. This is a little Work Sharp field sharpener, I believe. Strop. You can touch your blades up with it. It's not for heavy, like, oh, I chipped my blade. But it works. It gets the job done. But anyway, yeah, when you're picking out a good fixed blade, or excuse me, a good folding blade, this one, $35. It got me, years worth of work. You can barely see where I kind of wore down the blade a little bit down here. And even with all the crap I cut, this is just, it looks like paint compared to like this DLC coating on my Spyderco's. I thought this crap would come off a long time ago. And I mean, it's chipped. Some of this just from my keys hitting it. But this held up really, really well. And I was not kind of this knife at all. As a matter of fact, I actually ended up letting my son use it before I got him that expensive knife because I trusted him to carry it and not lose it. Because I mean, the pocket clip, you can barely see the logo for Randall's Adventure Training. This used to be black and it's just worn off. But I let my son use it and he hasn't torn it up. He hasn't had any issue with it. And it's one that, it's $35. If I lost it, yeah, it's got some sentimental value. I'd be a little frustrated. But at the end of the day, it's $35. It's not, 200 or, more. Like my son's knife, this Benchmade here was like $325 or something. And then by the time we did the engravings on it, it was like $300. I mean, it's almost $400. So it's not that, or this is not a Hinder. So what is your budget? If you can afford a Hinder or a Chris Reeves or an expensive Benchmade, whatever, get it. If it speaks to you, get it. Get something that speaks to you, get something that's tough, make sure the locks work, make sure you get a good steel, and find what works for you. If you want manuals, autos, assisted, I mean, man, it's out there. My biggest recommendation is get a good steel, get a solid lockup, and get a good quality knife. I don't like these Chinese knives or Chinese knockoffs of these knives. I used to, as a kid, get those gas station knives. I had a bunch of them. My dad finally asked me, he was like, why do you carry, how many of those knives, I was working concrete at the time, and I would go through one about every 2 months. He said, how many of those do you have this year? And I said, man, I've gone through 3 or 4 of them. I broke them. There's some kind of crappy potted steel mimicking, one of these, and it just breaks while you're, I was trying to cut something on 2x4. I was carving it, just broke. The blade bent back and pinched my hand right here, made my hand bleed. And my dad was there. I used to work for my dad, and he was like, how many of those have you had? I said, I don't know, like probably 10 this year. And he's like, so why don't you buy one expensive knife and then be done? And that started it started the whole hobby. He regretted telling me that later. He and I used to joke about it. But again, that's where I got into one of these, the Milwaukee Fastback, with just a box. I carried other box cutters. Box cutters are great, but this one, the fidget factor is great. I can sit there and play with it. And I get a screwdriver. Again, you get this stupid bottle opener. I wish I'd get rid of this stupid bottle opener because all that does is get hung up in my pocket, catch my hand or my keys, and it's sharp as hell. It's not cutting you, but it's not pleasant when you have it loose in your pocket or something, or and it's on the hook side, right? So if you go to grab it out, it catches your hand. It's not pleasant to grab that. It's very pointy. Again, for opening bottles, I will use this. Like we just got some glass bottle root beer the other day with me and the wife and kids. And I actually had to use this to open up. And my son used his too. It's his first time having a glass bottle Coke like that. And he saw me use mine and he was like, well, can I use mine? And he got to use his, which was pretty cool that he wanted to. And that he had it, I'm very proud of my son getting into this kind of stuff and learn how to make fires and, use knives safely and, firearms safely. And I'm glad that he's got that desire to get into this, which is probably what inspired me to make these videos. He's always asking me, what's the best fixed blade knife, Dad? And, what's the best folding knife, Dad? You have a lot of, what's your favorite one? And I got a lot, like out of all these on the table. This isn't even a close to what all I own. And, he's like, which one's your favorite one? And it's like, well, it's hard to say. Right now I'd say this one. It's one I carry every day. But at the same time, I love a good Shaman. I have an S30V. I have one in M390. I have two in CPM M4. I got one in titanium scales. I got one in the micarta scales. And so when I always tell him the best knife, consider this, like the best knife you can get for folding knives is, Depends on the task. If you're going to be working a lot, you know, and going to be rough on it, get one of these, $20. You get a screwdriver, box cutter, you don't ever have to sharpen it. If it's going to be one you're going to just carry daily, I prefer like get MagnaCut steel. I love this one. Let's see the other folding knives. I don't think I have another magnet. Oh, I have my Manix 2, regular Manix 2 I have is the Salt. And I bought a Manix 2 regular to switch the scales. So I didn't have the stupid yellow scales. I put liners on it. I should go grab it. I put brass scales on it. I was in the safe. I don't feel like getting it out. But it's a MagnaCut Manix 2. But I love MagnaCut. I don't have to worry about it. I can put it in my pocket and forget it exists. You know, just use it when I need it. So the best knife you can have for folding knives is the one that gets the job done, depending on what you're doing. Same thing I told them for fixed blades. What are you doing? What's the best knife you need? What's the best fixed blade knife there is? What's your task? There's no perfect tool. So if you're trying to find a good fixed blade, if you're trying to find a good folding knife, think about what you're trying to do with it every day and go from there. You know, just enjoy the journey. Just don't do what I did and I've got hundreds of knives. Don't go that far down the rabbit hole. You know, find one, enjoy it. Like this one, truthfully, the Shaman is probably one of my favorite folding knives ever. And truthfully with you guys, they just came out with the Shaman Salt, and I've got one on the way. It should be here sometime this week. My wife ordered it for me before Christmas. It's supposed to be my Christmas gift. I'm going to get it and carry it probably immediately. Because the Shaman is one of my favorite. You know, it's just the way it feels in the hand is comfortable. The look is aesthetically pleasing. I've already got handle scales and stuff I can customize it with. But yeah, anyway, that's Jacob with Good to Go Gear. Pick a knife that speaks to you. Pick a knife with a good steel, good ergonomics, and follow your laws. You know, if you can only have a little 3-inch blade, get it. You know, I hate to be the Britons where they have to have a small, I think it has to be a slip joint, meaning you can't lock. You have to, you know, like an old Swiss Army knife or something. You just have to, I'd hate to live over there that have laws like that, or California where I think you can't have longer than a 3-inch blade. I think it can lock though, but try to live somewhere that's free, you know, where you can do what you want, like Texas or down south. Colorado, we lived there for a couple of years, and they were, I think, somebody told me I had to carry a 3-inch blade, I bought this one to carry, you know, especially when I was at work. When we went hunting or, you know, I went camping a lot. I carried whatever I wanted because we're out in the woods, and I don't figure anybody's going to see me. And it wasn't a threat. Again, none of these were meant to be a threat. It's just meant to be a tool. So carry it, use it, enjoy it. Anyway, Jacob, Good to Go Gear. Thanks.